And you got us live on everything, right? Oh. Is this the part where I talk?
Yeah.
All right,
Maybe,
cool.
Maybe. Just let's stand.
Let's just do some awkward silence and get some more of that song in.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna play it all one day.
Yeah, exactly. We need to.
I need to hear.
Right. Well, you can actually on my website.
What? Can you
Yeah,
tell me
and
more about that?
actually, it's on Spotify and everything.
Tell
actually.
me more about that.
Well, there's this song, and it's done by this guy named DJ Kelly Reverb, and it's called Fine Ladies Only. And you can look it up. There you go.
All right.
There's my plug for myself.
Perfect song for you.
Right. Hey, there you go. So everybody tuning in, thank you. This is This Pink Cloud, Season 2, Episode 33. I don't know why we
Crowd goes
cheer at that.
wild.
Yeah, right. In studio today, I am excited to talk to this lovely couple. I finally got to meet you, but that over there, the one with questionably the more beautiful hair, I don't know.
It's
you know?
true. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
I've accepted it.
But that is the one and only Dylan Kingston from Skate Straight, EW Skate Co. Have you become a smart recovery facilitator yet?
I mean, I've started facilitating meetings. I haven't done the
Done the certification yet?
but I'm a peer facilitator,
All
and
right.
that's what we're about. So
Okay.
it works.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. And then sitting next to him, the lovely, the talented, the dog parent, the dog mom,
Yes.
Shelly Simmons,
Hello.
soon to be Shelly Kingston at some point.
Yes.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I don't know why he likes me.
Put a ring on it, baby. Hey, real quick, before we get to everything, let's hit our sponsors real quick. That is the lovely Summer Sky out in Stephenville, Texas, and that is summersky.us, and that is 888-857-8857. So 888-857-8857. They are a little rehab out in Stephenville where I got clean. And, I'm a year and some change. So
Got your life back.
Working so far. Yeah, exactly. Got my life back, buddy. And then also the lovely and talented Josh and Ricky are from Cardinal House Sober Living are
Two
now
beautiful
sponsors.
men.
Yes, of
Gosh,
course.
It's ridiculous.
Right. But they are sponsoring the show. And so if you need like some extended accountability and you're a dude, and, you just can't navigate that on your own, which I totally get. It's cardinalhouserecovery.com. Once again, that is cardinalhouserecovery.com, and that is 918-998-4223. Once again, that's 918-998-4223. And I love it that Josh gave me his personal number to blast out on the internet.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes, man. That is Josh. You will talk to Josh.
He's in it.
Yeah, but they're a good facility, and they're doing good things, and keeping people accountable longer term than say a rehab would, and they have a good program over there. So check it out. You know, yeah. Anyway,
That's what it's about.
so I think we kind of touched on it, but what's been up with you? I mean, okay, so I want to kind of also paint a picture. You know, you had a relapse, about a month ago now, or?
Yeah, it's been a little bit over a month. I don't know. I try not to count days.
Sure.
My mentor and someone I hold dear, Kurt.
Right.
Shout out the big man. But he's an advocate for don't count days.
Right.
And so that's something when he speaks, I listen. So, about a month past my relapse, been going to IOP, been facilitating meetings, been doing podcasts. We're getting a story.
Are you doing multiple podcasts now?
No.
Okay.
This one.
I was like,
No.
are you cheating?
I
on
would
me?
never ever cheat. Well,
Awkward.
Maybe.
yeah, I would never do it with as much heart as I do this.
There you
You know,
go.
they'd get
Wow.
a they'd get a half.
They'd get a. they'd get a half-ass Dylan.
Yeah.
and
I know that
instead
feeling.
of the full effort, the full pull.
Yeah, this is my
This is 100%
my love child.
Dylan. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, sweet.
He's glowing right now. It's beautiful.
I
but
think it's his hair.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Is it?
All of the
Got the
things.
bun going
right
on today?
Yeah, you
Mixes.
do have the man bun.
We're bunning it up.
I like it.
But yeah, so a lot of things are happening with Skate Straight, man. A lot of things. They're doing a story on Channel 8 News about us, where Kurt is just full steam ahead with this RV that we got.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
gonna be
the mobile assault unit. Yeah,
it's
dude,
gonna be a
love it.
mobile resource center, which is
I told him. I
so
told
sick.
him he should put like a Evil Knievel motif on it.
Well,
You know,
the funny thing is he's a graphic designer,
Yeah.
right? He designed the whole thing, and then I guess he told us Wednesday that he actually found some people to sponsor it, and so they were
Yeah.
like, we'll hire some people to get it all wrapped and everything like that. Well, he met with another graphic designer, and the graphic designer basically told him like, oh, your design shit. I'm gonna redo the whole thing.
Oh, right. Nice.
So, but
hey, well, and also they have an event coming up Labor Day, right?
yes, we do. We have a cookout on Monday, family friendly. We're going to be at Alliance Skate Park in Grand Prairie.
And you do not have to be an addict to go.
No, you do not. But
Okay.
Daphne's going, my
it will
dog.
be a sober, safe place to spend your Labor Day. Food, friends,
Where,
fun.
where is that and what time?
Alliance Skate Park in Grand Prairie. It's right next to like Lone Star, like by the horse races. And it starts at noon.
Okay.
And there's no
And
end
that's
time.
on Labor Day.
Yes.
What day is Labor Day?
Monday.
Do we know the date?
Oh. The ninth. Is
We
it
don't
the
count
ninth? Is it
days.
the ninth?
Yeah, we don't count days, right?
What's
yeah,
the
exactly.
date today? Oh no,
Exactly.
it's not the 9th. Friday, Saturday's the 6th. It's
I love
the
it.
6th.
I love it to make Dylan do math.
Yeah.
And
Hold
my,
on, let me get those fingers out.
Yeah. And my dog will be there, so if you want to meet.
Well,
my
there
dog,
we go.
Yeah.
she's
there we
pretty
go.
cool. Daphne Daffodilia.
Right? So, anyway, enough about you.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah, right.
Let me sit back.
Let's get to the Dylan's better half, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Mrs.
grease in the wheels.
Miss Shelley Simmons, right
Yes.
now, Miss Shelley Simmons.
Don't get
and-
any ideas.
Right. And I'm excited to finally meet you face to face. You know,
Yeah.
I guess we've been friends on that thing called the interwebs.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, we know a lot of people in common.
We
And
do.
finally, I got to touch your person.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hugged. and
Appropriately.
everything. Yeah. It was not inappropriate. by any means.
Hey, but so, okay.
She's real. I told you guys she
right,
was.
right. It's like a snuffleupagus thing,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
The first time I met a few of his friends, they were like, "Oh wow, she's real."
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
right.
Kurt and Eric and everybody, they were like, because I always
She
talk
actually
about her. They were like,
exists.
oh my God, she's real.
yeah, right.
My work, I can never come out and do anything because I work at night, and so
All right. Well, that's okay, and I appreciate you making the time
I got
today.
up so early today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on to
be with
do
you.
Dylan's hair.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
I
my
don't
own
touch
hair.
it. I don't touch his hair.
Right on. All right. Well, so basically, what we do on the show is we kind of get, you know, your backstory since you're new to the show and haven't been on, and then I want to kind of touch on, you know, just basically romance in recovery and you know how you navigate all that good stuff. But Shelley, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh gosh, I don't know how to wrap up 34 years of bad decisions in a very short time, but I'll try.
No, it's all good. We've got time.
So I moved to New Orleans when I was in my first year of like high school.
Well, that's already a problem. Red
Yeah.
flag. All right.
Yeah.
Love New Orleans, by the way.
It's amazing. Love it.
Shout
Yeah.
out to those people
yeah,
down there right now,
yeah,
too,
for sure.
going through it.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And I went to Destrehan High School. You know, met a lot of friends out there. I had already started drinking pretty young, smoking pot. You know, and immersed myself into like the punk rock metal scene out there, which is a huge thing. You know, and with that comes a lot of drugs.
Right. Well, the important thing is I want to talk about all your boyfriends in front of your fiance.
That's weird.
So no, I'm just
There was
kidding.
no one before me, Kelly.
Yeah, I've never. I was a virgin. When
She
we
was
were-
Exactly.
a goddess temple before, and then I
Then you came along.
Yeah.
and-
Soiled it.
Right.
Soiled it all.
Soiled it. Well,
God.
all right.
Anyway, yeah. So I got into, pills was a huge thing for me for a long time. Xanax was the love of my life for,
The old
Before doing-
benzodiazepine.
yeah.
Right.
And then those started getting, hard to find. So the next step was, heroin, of course.
Right.
Yeah. Obvious choice.
Well, did you go with a little OxyContin first, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was but that you couldn't you couldn't find them. They were hard to find. They were super
Right.
expensive. All of the things. Ended up getting into that. Started intravenously using.
Okay.
Ended up getting into some trouble and went to prison for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's no good. So was this in the lovely state of Louisiana?
It was. It
Okay.
was. I went to prison in Tallulah, Louisiana.
Okay.
Shout out.
Sounds like a sounds like a place for a prison.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was. Oh, it absolutely is. There's
Right.
a Walmart, and then
The
there's the prison.
The Walmart and then the prison. I like
Yeah,
it.
those are the two jobs.
All
They
right.
go to the Walmart to get the ramen noodles, and then they just take them back to the prison.
Right?
Yeah, well, it was a so it was a satellite camp that I was at. So they basically are not run by the state; they're privately run. So
Okay.
so they would actually go and get to probably the dollar store and get all kinds of stuff there and come and sell it for a commissary. For
They were
like
marking up on
$5 for a
Right.
noodle, and but
They had a
yeah.
little ramen noodle game going on.
Yeah. Anyway, so,
But so you were in prison, and what age were you then?
from 25 to 24 to 30.
I mean, that's like peak years
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be behind bars.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure you probably got sentenced for more, but served less, or
well,
what?
it was a violent charge, so I had to do 85% of my time.
Oh, wow.
A year on parole. I ended up going to a work release program.
Now you guys know why I act so good.
Right? Yeah. She will.
Yes.
She will whoop your ass. son.
Yeah, it was tough. It was definitely made me a tough cookie for
Right.
sure. Gotta be.
Well,
kinda
yeah,
tough.
you were. I mean, when you got sentenced, you were young. You were still growing up and learning yourself, and
Well, and I was in. So they call it's parish jail rather than like county. Same thing,
yeah,
basically,
yeah.
when you're waiting to be sentenced. And I detoxed off of heroin in the parish jail. I probably didn't sleep for a month.
Wow,
It
that
was
would be
absolutely horrible.
rough. Yeah, because they're not giving you any kind of meds to
No,
ease
there's
the
no
pain,
no
dude.
comfort
It's
meds.
just like, oh, yeah. By the way, you're not doing heroin anymore. And,
Figure it out.
Good luck.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was rough for
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
So I did that, got out. That wasn't enough. I immediately went right back to using.
Right after you got out. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I probably stayed clean for like a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
But
crazy.
I-
That's
I-
crazy how much power that has,
Yeah.
over you. I mean, 5 years away from it, and then you're like, oh my God.
I didn't
Well-
have any kind of foundation.
Sure, yeah,
of
yeah. It sounds
recovery.
like
you know,
it,
there's no. I mean, there was of course classes you could take in there, but like, there's no 12 steps. There's no sponsorship. There's none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any idea about recovery really. I was forced into it, obviously.
Oh yeah,
So,
obviously, yeah. Right.
yeah. So I immediately started using again, and everything went downhill again. Of course, I was living with my mom. She wanted nothing to do with me for obvious reasons. I mean, I burned probably every bridge.
Right, and I'm sure there was probably some thievery
Oh,
and
absolutely.
or
A lot of
borrowing of
lot of it.
items and monies.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it got to the point where they would lock their door when they, their bedroom door when they left.
Oh,
and
right.
It was terrible.
And no, I mean, that's an awful thing. Like your mom's like, okay, I got to be sure, because I know your mom's probably going, I'm going to take my purse with me.
Yeah.
I don't have any cash at the house. All the jewelry's locked up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In a safe. Yeah, no,
That's
it
a
was
crazy thing when you have to do that with your own kid.
It got to the point when I was using and stuff like that, like when I say like my grandmother slept with her like keys and wallet under her pillow and shit like that, like because I would find I mean, I don't know, we go to lengths, just extreme lengths.
It's really bizarre to think back on who that person was, because I don't know that person.
Sure.
I have no idea who that person is now, because I'm just so completely different, and it's there's a lot of shame and guilt and embarrassment with that, I wasn't anybody that, I wasn't somebody anybody wanted to be around, for sure.
Right.
It was rough.
Yeah, that shit takes hold of you and just like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So like you're out, you're using again, and then what I mean,
Started dating a guy, ended up getting pregnant, and made the very hard decision to choose adoption. So I went through an adoption agency.
Oh, well, that's cool. So you had the child and put it up for adoption.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
She's 3 now, and I have a great, amazing relationship with her parents. Very involved. Speak to her mother daily. They're amazing.
Right.
And it couldn't have worked out better. Hardest decision I ever made. Best decision I ever made.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's just a whole other level of guilt if you would have chosen, the alternate method.
Right.
But I applaud you for that.
Yeah, it's
I mean, that's good. I mean, because at that time you're very selfish.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was very. It was the exact opposite of what I had always been, to make that decision. I had always been very selfish, and I had to be very, very selfless and put myself in the position to realize that, it wasn't about me anymore. And that little girl saved my life.
Right.
She,
and she is a cutie pie too. I got
Yeah.
to meet her, and she's just the sweetest little thing.
she's
That's
pretty
cool.
She's very slapstick comedy, like fall down and then
Oh,
look at
right.
you and make sure you're laughing, and
I'm not hurt.
yeah, she's a trip.
right.
Very smart.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So I, when that happened, that was my bottom. That was my bottom
Sure.
for sure. So I decided to change my life. I went to the Right Step in Euless.
Okay.
I was there for 100 and something days.
Now
I
the Right Step is a rehab facility.
It is.
Okay.
It
And
is.
long term, or
They
do
have.
they have sober living as well? Or?
They don't have sober living. They can help you get connected with sober
Right.
livings. But I did the 30 days. I detoxed, did the 30 days, and then did 90 days in the intensive outpatient where I actually lived there.
Oh, okay.
And there was a group of us that lived there, and then there was people that came from the outside and did,
So it's like a PHP program.
Yeah, it was PHP. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So, I ended up going to when I got out of there, I ended up going to an expensive sober living house. I didn't know anything about Oxford at the time.
Okay.
So I went there first, stayed there for a little while, and then ended up going to Oxford.
Right. And just for those people out there listening, Oxford is a sober living, and it's a self-governing society out there, and it's kind of a house-by-house basis.
Yeah.
And, it's affordable living
Absolutely.
and for people in recovery, and they also have a level of accountability for you as well.
Yes.
You have to do that old UABA thing all the time.
Yeah.
and-
So yeah,
It's
yeah,
great.
yeah. It's awesome. It's
Oxford.
And it helps to be around other people that are trying to get clean when you're trying to get clean.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's definitely a community that will support you in Oxford. It's great. It taught me a lot of things. Taught me how to pay bills. Taught me how to manage my money.
Right.
Taught me how to be an adult.
Yeah.
Clean up after myself.
Kind of
just-
general life
Yeah,
skills that
absolutely.
maybe we didn't learn because
Absolutely.
we were in our addiction.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's great because there's nobody that is over you telling you what to do. You're on your own. You basically here you go. Here's a house to live in with other people. Get your shit together, be sober, have a job, you know.
And like it's everybody is like some people, and the thing is it's cool because like the senior members of the house like obviously have a leg up, like they've been there a little longer, they've learned a little bit, so then you learn from them and then they move on and you become the senior member and you teach the newer people that are coming in, because sometimes people are coming in off the streets. Sometimes people are coming in from treatment. Like it's
Prison.
prison. It's an array. They have a reentry program straight from prison. You know, it's an array of people, and it's people from all different. Like my grandma did my laundry till I was 23. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know, and so. And then I got put in a house, and some of the guys that lived in my house were 50 years old and had their own house and families and all that stuff. And like you learn from.
Oh yeah.
You learn from that stuff.
Here's how you do it, Dylan. Don't put the colors
everything.
in.
No, everything in the
Separate
cold.
your whites. Yeah, right.
Everything in the cold, and you can just do it.
Yeah,
There you go.
It's all about. It's always all
That's
about the newcomer.
that's bachelor talk right there.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's always all about the newcomer, you know.
Yeah, and I mean some of my friends in recovery now are people that I met, and I have a really good friend that like he is in like a corporate America job, and he's got like a family and all this stuff, and like you just wouldn't think like that we like where like, but our paths crossed because of recovery, and now we're friends. I call him when I need some advice.
I always say that like in you know when I became sober, I mean there's this entire network out there and secret society which I knew not existed, and you know I've doubled my homies.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So for sure.
and it's so cool because it's like everybody's going through it, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Everybody realizes and knows where you've been. They can you know relate in some form.
Yeah,
or
and I
fashion.
mean, I can't say it enough that I think it's just Paramount community in recovery is
Yeah.
paramount. However you get that community, you know, as long as it's a positive influence on you,
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, do it, because if you're just there white knuckling it by yourself,
Can't do it alone.
not gonna do. You know, your chances shrink or diminish greatly.
And
Yeah.
who wants to do it alone? you
Exactly.
know?
Right? We were alone in our addictions. Why
Yeah.
would we want to get clean and be alone? You know?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I get it. So Oxford House, shout out, obviously.
Yes,
but,
absolutely.
yeah, and then Oxford House, and then from there.
From Oxford, well, I met Dylan. This is where
Who, that guy?
the pretty boy comes
Right.
in. God, he makes me sick.
Well,
too
then see,
pretty.
now y'all should get married. Now,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
that she said that, y'all
No, I
should get
say it
married.
often.
Yeah,
Often.
right.
It's sometimes I'll be
I look at him and I want to vomit.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting on the couch. She'll be in the bedroom with the dog, and she'll lean over, and it's like you look. She looks at me, and I'm like, she's gonna say I love you, and then she goes, "You get on my nerves," and I'm like, "Okay, I love you too."
Good boy, Dylan.
don't-
Good boy.
I came from prison. I don't know
Yeah,
how these are.
right, exactly. And on an aggravated
Yeah.
charge,
Yeah.
too.
I gotta
so watch
keep
out,
watch my
dude.
P's and Q's.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right,
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. So, and then y'all met, and then let's get into. I mean, so you met him where? Like out at a sober event?
No, we
12-step meeting or what?
So he actually messaged me on the Facebook and and said he was looking for friends in recovery.
you, you dog.
Yeah,
You.
see why he gets on my nerves?
Right.
Yeah.
Look, dude, I'm just she on her Facebook was like mutual friends with all of the people I had met from Oxford. She's obviously a extremely good-looking human being.
Sure.
And so I don't know. I shot my shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were looking
And I
for a
had-
friend,
well,
right?
In recovery.
in
In
the be-
recovery.
And in that, if we're being honest, that what my intention, because I had a sponsor at the time and all those things, and I wasn't looking for a relationship like actively, and so that's really what I was doing. And then it worked. She like started talking to me, and we started becoming friends, you know, and we were friends for a little while first, and then I mean, I couldn't help myself, like I just, you fall for who you fall
There
for.
are
So,
those birds and the bees things,
Yeah.
and there are parts of you that are attracted to parts of her, and I get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
But so you started stalking her on Facebook.
Yes.
And
The funny thing, the really funny thing about it, and I don't even know if he knows this. Before he had messaged me, I saw him on The People You May Know. And I
Okay.
went and stalked his Facebook because I thought he was really cute. And this is before he ever even messaged me.
Right.
So I'm living in Oxford at the time, and he messages me, and I have a lot of my roommates that I was close with at the time, and I went to them and I said, "Oh, this, remember this guy that I showed you the picture of? He messaged me."
Oh, look at that. So there was a little counter stalking
Yeah.
going on. I
Yeah.
like it. Okay.
Always, I'm
All right.
super.
She's not the innocent
great.
party here.
Right,
No,
right,
no,
right.
never innocent.
So y'all message each other, and then where y'all meet up for the first time where, or what?
He came to my job. He shout out Chili's Coyton Campbell. He came up there. I was bartending.
It became a regular yeah, so she bartends at Chili's, and so like I was like, well, I'll just come, I worked at a pizza place. I would get off and she would still be at work, whatever. So like it became a pretty regular thing for me to like go up and just like sit at the bar and drink soda and like
And order just copious amounts of chips.
yeah, and like yeah.
He
And
did,
just like
actually chips and ranch.
yeah, and just like
and
talk
chips
shit.
and water.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was there was a lot of back and forth, just talking shit. It was,
And at that time too, like I was new in recovery. I had been in the Oxford house, I think, for like 30, 40 days. I didn't have a car or anything like that. Like one of the first things that like she came and saw me at work one time and like brought me like an Uber gift card so that I could like get back and forth from like my house to her Chili's and like stuff like that.
Nice.
And and like stuff
Sure.
like that. Like they were just like, and we just hung out at Chili's. She would come see me at my job, and then
now, how long were you in, like, as far as recovery? Like, how long had you been sober for? at that?
probably 2 years,
2
a year
years?
and a half,
Okay.
2 years
Right.
at that point.
Right.
I had been living at Oxford and in recovery and kind of had a foundation,
Sure.
but
So, I mean, and I say this tongue in cheek, and I want to get to this definitely for sure because I actually did some research. I mean, some people might call that 13th step,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to point out the fact that the 13th step is really a serious issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I actually did some research.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I actually want to, read the fundamental definition of step 13. So it says, simply put, the 13th step is a colloquial term when 12-step old-timer hits on a group newcomer less than a year in sobriety. It can be for a variety of reasons, emotional, financial, physical, but either way, it's someone in a position of power trying to take advantage of someone who is weaker.
yeah.
Right? And then also, I got to put this disclaimer out there. Despite what you may think, these predators aren't just limited to men. All sexes and genders, gender preferences can fall into this category. And unfortunately, meetings have given predators a perfect opportunity to work their disgusting magic. Is what I hear. So that's a real thing.
It absolutely
does
is a real
happen,
thing.
yeah.
And that's a real thing, and it's out there. And I mean, I think we've seen it all to varying degrees. I know you were saying that you knew some people personally that had experience with that.
Absolutely. I mean, I hear about it all the time. It's an ongoing problem in the rooms. It's very serious, and it's scary. People, when they come in, the newcomer is vulnerable. It's supposed to be about the newcomer, welcoming them, but not taking advantage of their vulnerability.
And we have to, at the end of the day, we have to remember that we are people coming from a place where we weren't great people.
Absolutely.
And just because you stop doing drugs,
Doesn't mean you're an amazing person all of a sudden.
and
Right.
so
We're still
there,
manipulators.
Right.
unfortunately, there are, people that feed off of that, and they find some sort of fulfillment from doing things like that, right?
Yeah, maybe they have a little co-occurring little sex addiction or something.
Yeah,
in
and
there,
there's
like-
and there
yeah.
there's absolutely there's so many different things that could come into play. As far as him and I though, think
I would call that just two kids falling in love.
and I think that well he came to me.
Right.
I did.
Yeah.
I definitely sought her out for
Right.
sure. And it was innocent, you know? Like, I mean, I thought she was gorgeous and wanted to get to know her better, and then
It just so happens we're in recovery. We're still two people.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
of course. And
We're
you don't stop being people just
Right.
because you're in recovery.
Absolutely.
I get it. Yeah.
well, yeah, and especially like coming from our side of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we're both in recovery, and so like a lot of the times you hear people say, well, two addicts shouldn't be together, and like things like that, and it's like, well, I know coming from my side, and I know from talking to her, right? We live together, we talk all the time. When I look at her, the first thing I see is not addict.
You're right.
You know, like that's not.
doesn't define who
I
we
don't.
are.
I don't.
by
I
any
don't
means.
judge or grade our relationship on the fact of our clean time. She could be in active use, and I'm still gonna love her and try to help her. Right? Like that's not what our relationship is about.
Right.
Yes, it is a tremendous help that we both are actively in recovery and can be there as support and
Right. And
call
relate to each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Well,
call each other out on our bullshit.
Yeah,
Right.
and we feed off of each other's greatness. You know, we feed off of.
Now that's interesting that you said that, because I was going to say, like, I mean, and this is where, navigating a relationship in recovery, I want to kind of get to maybe some of the potential pitfalls you see, because when you're new in recovery, they say that you're not supposed to be in a relationship for like that first year of recovery, and you're supposed to be working on yourself
Absolutely.
and concentrating on that. But like, so, I mean, give me some pros and cons, like, I mean, from y'all's personal experience.
Well, I think seeing him do well and us building a life together. When I was using, I had nothing. I had nothing to lose. I had no reason to stay clean. Who cares, right? The case of the fuckets. But him and I have built a life together. We have an apartment. We have a dog. We just bought a new car. We are doing things.
Grown up shit.
Yeah, that I've never done.
Right.
And I'm in my 30s and I got to get it together. But like, I met him and knew that I had found home. Which is an amazing feeling. He just so happens to be in recovery just like me. Thankfully, we both know about recovery and we can support each other. If one of us is, having a tough time, we're so in tune with, what the other person is probably feeling, those feelings of, I want to use, or, I'm feeling down. Like I've been there. So
Right.
I totally get it, and I can support him in a way that is helpful rather than hurtful. Whereas if one of us was not in recovery and didn't know how to handle it, had no idea, it might be a little different, And
Sure.
the downfalls, I think,
Well, and I think, I don't know, how I see it is like we have our relationship and we're both in recovery, but like she does her own thing, right? Like she has to do things for herself.
Sure.
Like, like she does her meetings and she has these things, and like, and if she wants to come out and come to me and like share how she's feeling and like her things like that, like we can do that and we're comfortable doing that. But also, like, I go to my meetings and like I have my time where I go.
So y'all, it's kind of, and that's another thing. Like, y'all kind of keep your recovery. Y'all have your own set of friends,
Well,
kind of
yeah.
like, or your own peeps, in meetings and stuff like that.
Well,
like,
we're two different human beings, right?
Sure.
Just because we're in a relationship doesn't mean that we. I mean, of
and I
course.
think that's a healthy thing that y'all do. I mean, y'all
Yeah.
don't just, y'all aren't holding pinkies at
the end,
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't go to every meeting together. We
Right.
don't, we're not sitting next to each other,
Sure.
hugged up. Like
Right.
he goes to his meetings, I do my meetings, and we keep that kind of separate. But also we can come together easily because we both, know about recovery. We
Sure.
we both have an amazing foundation, and we have a reason to stay clean because we have each other. He depends on me, I depend on him in a healthy way.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah. And like, I wouldn't say that like either one of us like necessarily like carries one another. Like, I feel like we both do the work to be in a healthy spot so that we can come together and be healthy, right?
Right.
Because like when she's doing bad, I pick up the slack, and then when I'm feeling bad, she picks up the slack, right?
Right.
It's like a team effort.
Right,
So,
and y'all are cheerleading for each other and
Yeah.
and helping each other. Which
and
is
then of
great.
course, like I've met some of her friends in her like more of her recovery circle and things like that, and we've become friends. And then as you see here, she's here. This is on my side of like the people that
Right.
I've grown as a community. And
Well,
things
now
like
she's
that.
on my side. Too.
Exactly. So
Sorry, bye.
we're mixing tribes. You know
right.
what I'm
No,
saying?
and I love that. Yeah.
And so
I love that.
it's cool. And
It's very cool.
Hey, so I want to bring up something serious, like, I mean, that happened, and this is like a unique, opportunity that happened. Like, I mean, tell me how it was when Dylan relapsed, and what you did, and what went through your head, and what was going through your head as well.
Well, so I carry a lot of guilt and shame about his relapse, which is something that I'm working on because I relapsed first.
Okay.
So I don't know if a lot of people know that,
Right.
but
They do now.
They do now.
Right.
They do now. And that's okay because, I recover loudly so others don't suffer silently.
Sure.
But
Would you call it what you had? Was it a relapse or was it a slip?
it was a relapse.
Okay.
I relapsed.
Okay.
And I ended up going to Nexus.
Okay. Shout out Nexus.
Yes.
Just had those ladies
Nexus.
on.
Yeah.
Love Nexus.
Yes, they're
it's a
amazing.
free organization that ladies can go get help, and
Absolutely.
it's totally free. And they have a detox program.
They do.
And they're good people doing good
They're
things
amazing.
over there.
They're absolutely amazing. I couldn't have done it without them and without the support of my fiance, obviously.
Right.
But so I relapsed and immediately decided, what am I doing? What the fuck? Like this is, I don't want to lose everything that I have.
Sure.
I'm an addict, and my first inkling is to go to what I know. If I'm feeling down or if I'm feeling any kind of way, if I'm feeling happy, whatever, in my head, I want to use. I had 3 years of
Sobriety.
and it can happen at any time.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's
real,
out there. It's real.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely real. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much time you have. It's always there in the back of your head, and it happened. And it's not something I'm proud of. But
Yeah.
but the great thing is, I had such a great foundation of recovery under my belt that I knew that's not what I wanted. I knew that I couldn't lose everything. I couldn't lose him, and he, we decided collectively that I needed to go get some help.
Okay.
So I did that. And I was there getting help. I got the Vivitrol shot. Shout out to Vivitrol. Stuff is
Okay.
amazing.
All right. And Vivitrol shot, for those that don't know.
So it is a once a month injection that basically blocks your opiate receptors. Alcohol, you can't get drunk, you can't get high on opiates at all.
So it makes the drugs not fun.
It makes they don't
Right,
work. You'll
yeah,
get
they
sick.
don't
If I
work,
were
right.
to try to drink or something, which isn't really my thing, I would get violently ill. Same thing with opiates, so it's a once a month injection. I'm in a study over there at Nexus, still working with the ladies over there. Shout
Cool.
out to Sophie, I love you.
All right.
But anyway, so I go once a month and I get this injection, and it just takes everything away. It takes your cravings. I lost like 15 pounds,
Right.
and I basically
Side
quit
note.
Yeah.
Does it take away
Yeah,
your...
it takes away
Yeah.
cravings for everything.
Yeah,
I basically
wow.
quit smoking pretty much.
Wow.
I'm just vaping, here and there, but it's an amazing thing.
Okay.
So I did that. I was at Nexus actively working their program there. I was going to do the 30 days, and I called home, and
Well, okay, so let me preface this by saying this might be a downfall of being
Yes.
in a relationship, right?
Right. And that's
Because
what I wanted to kind of point out,
Absolutely.
and I'm glad you're spelling that out.
she was struggling, right? And when you love someone, and I like to say this, I've never had to be the one taking someone I love to treatment,
Same.
right? I've always been the one that's been carried to a place where they're like, okay, you're going to go here and get better, and we love you, and we hope everything works out, right? Like, I've never had to be that person. So I was not mentally, physically, any of the, like, nothing could have prepared me for that, right? Because I look at her as like a beacon of like hope
Right,
for
yeah,
me,
of
right? You know,
course.
and so nothing could have prepared me for that. So as strong as I thought I was, she was there about 2 weeks, and I've told on here, I've spoke about it on here, so people kind of know. But like, I had a moment of fault, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I went into autopilot mode, and before I knew it, I was using for a week, and that like culminated at the end of that week of me overdosing, having to be Narcan and taken to the hospital.
Right. And I hold on. Let me. I don't want to cut you off, but put in the disclaimer. Please do not take street versions of drugs. If you think it's OxyContin you're getting, it's probably cut with fentanyl or
Yeah.
something that's going to kill you.
Don't use
which,
alone.
Yeah, which it almost actually did kill you, which
Yeah.
was scary to even think of. That if you hadn't, hit that pole or nodded
Well,
out in
if I
traffic.
would- yeah,
If
if
you
I
would have
would-
just gone to the apartment.
She was
Yeah.
at treatment. Nobody would have. I mean, nobody would have
Yeah,
came
you-
looking for me. It
you
happened
could've
on a
been-
Friday. I would have been in the apartment for 3 days without anybody thinking,
Wow.
"Oh, he didn't show up to work. He didn't."
Man, that's scary.
You
Yeah.
know, and
And
so
it can happen, and it can happen to anybody.
Sure,
It's a real thing. Like we said,
Right.
no matter how much clean time you have, it doesn't matter. You're still an addict, and
Mm-hmm.
it's still a daily chore. It's still a daily thing you have to work on.
Right.
But anyway,
and
go
so yeah, so man, like, I mean, I fucked up, right? And then like that happened Friday night. I didn't speak to her because when you're in detox up there, she can't use the phone all the time and stuff like that. They're trying to get you to focus on like getting better and stuff like that. So Saturday morning she calls me, and I just had to tell her, right? Like, I have to be honest. This is my person. I can't hide things like that from her. And so I told her, hey, I mean, and I'm an addict, and my brain was in active use at that time, right? So I didn't tell the full story, right? I told her, I used one time and it happened, and oh my God, it's so crazy, but I'm okay. And she knows me better than that, right?
Right.
Like, we live together. She knows when I'm not telling the truth. And so we fought it for a couple of days, but Sunday night she came home, right? And found out I had been using for 3 days and spent $500 and, and
I thought it was 300.
whatever, however much
Dude,
money,
now you're getting, yeah.
however much money
Right.
it was, I spent
Yeah, of
all my
course.
money on fucking street fentanyl and drugs, and was fucking getting high every day and not going to work, and
Right.
whatever the case may be, I just wasn't doing the right thing, right?
And that's what they kind of say, and that's one of the big things about navigating a relationship in recovery, because you might hang, your recovery on hers, and it's kind of house of cards thing.
Absolutely.
And it's a difficult thing to navigate because it can go both ways, you
Yeah.
know.
And I think what happened, and if we're being honest, is we both were in Oxford for a long time. We had a lot of accountability there and everything like that. We got engaged. We got this apartment. Everything was going great.
We're the new hot couple.
Yeah,
right?
like everything was swimming, right? Like,
Sure.
everything was fine. And I think if we're being honest with ourselves and everyone else, we got complacent, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, we
absolutely.
got into a new apartment, and we're like, we got this. We're
Yeah,
paying our
dude, we're
bills
gonna be-
on time.
We're gonna be normal, man.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
we
right?
can, now we can celebrate.
Right. There you
Yeah,
go.
and so, and we had a moment of bad judgment, right? I mean,
The amazing thing is that we didn't let that take us all the way down.
yeah, I
Which
didn't
it
lose
easily
my
could've.
apartment. We didn't lose our apartment. We
Right.
didn't lose our car. We didn't go to jail. We didn't, none of those things. As soon as we saw an issue, luckily, like you said, we have a foundation of recovery that's strong
Right.
enough that we made the decision to be like, hey, hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
This ain't right.
Right.
Let's do something
Let's
different.
not go down that road again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We fixed it.
My car
Well,
has brakes now.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, congrats on the new car there.
Oh, yeah, we
guys.
did.
Yeah.
Yes.
The love child, the big green monster, did die, guys. But
It had like 300,000 miles,
Dude.
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it
Big
was
body.
a beast, and I'm pretty sure I can get it running again.
She thick.
Yeah, right.
She thick. Yeah. But I think that for me, and one of the speaking on the downfalls, for me, I carry it with me that he relapsed and could have died, because I feel like had I not relapsed, he might not have relapsed, you know? And
so
that's
you
something,
got that guilt.
and that's
Yeah.
something that I have to carry, you know, and work through. And I'm doing IOP, I'm doing individual counseling all through
Right,
Nexus.
and just for those that don't know, IOP is intense outpatient.
Intensive
so,
outpatient, and I'm doing it through Nexus, and they're amazing. And he's doing his own separate IOP classes. So you know, we are picking ourselves back up, but we're also at the same time not leaning on each other. We're doing our own recovery separately. We've never used together.
Right.
We've never ever used together.
Dude, a little Sid and Nancy action.
Yeah,
None of
yeah.
that.
There's none of
Yeah.
that. We've never collectively gotten together and used drugs.
And we've made a promise to each other that that's not what we ever want to be.
No,
Right.
that's not how our story goes.
Okay.
You know, and
I like that boundary.
yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good one.
And that's,
Boundaries are amazing.
Yeah, that's something I think that we've had to learn as well too. Is like it's okay that she has to do her own thing and I have to do my own thing. Like that's okay.
Right.
Yes, we're a unit and we're a team and all of those things, but like I got to do my practice on my own. She's got to do her practice on her own, so we can come together and be great, right?
Right.
So there definitely has to be those boundaries, and if you're gonna be in a relationship and recovery, like there has to be, yes, you're one, but there has to be some separation there as well.
Right.
You have to be your own person. So
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, it's very taboo to be in recovery with somebody else that's in recovery early on and all of those things, you know, and it's not something that I recommend or anything like that. You know, you need to work on yourself, of course, but when it happens, and it's not just we can't stop our lives because we're addicts. We have to still live and be, you know, have some sense of normalcy. You know, my life is not just about being a addict and being in recovery. That's not all I have to offer. I have so many different things going on. You know, that is one part of me. That is a big part of me and has to do with my past. But
Right. And it's not like that part of you is just going to go away and not exist and not have happened.
Right,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Right.
And there's so many other parts of me that aren't going to go away and that, you know, have happened. And, you know, if I hyper focus on that, I mean, I could hyper focus on being an inmate for 5 years, you know, and that could be who I just, you know, that could be who I am, or I could be a drug
I'm gonna
addict.
start finding shanks taped to the bottom of the toilet at the house. And
Yeah,
shit.
at the house, dude.
Oh, you found
She
those?
just got the shank. Now that's fun.
Toothbrush, like,
I
melted
melted
down.
a toothbrush and put a razor in it.
She does the bump like when she's walking by. I love you.
Yeah,
I'm like going to make a bagel and I'm like bleeding out and shit.
you got to make the noise.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go. Well, so I don't want to put y'all on the spot, but have y'all set a date?
We have not said
We haven't. We
Right.
We're
can't.
practicing. We're not in
Yeah.
a rush. I mean, we obviously don't do things
Okay.
normally like like everybody else does. We just got an apartment together. We just bought a car. Like we have a life together.
Sure, yeah.
You know, we are going to get married eventually. Of course, we have not talked about setting a date yet.
I got you.
And we're like on the fence too about like, do we want to have like a big ceremony, invite everybody, or do we want to like
Justice of the peace.
run away and
Yeah.
run away and go to Italy and like get married by ourselves? You know, like
Right.
like
I
stuff
gotcha.
like that, like destination, like so.
Okay, well, I just want to put this out there. If y'all do decide to procreate, the name Kelly
Kelly.
Works both
goes
ways.
either way.
Yeah,
it's a good
that
one.
is true.
It's a
Wow.
good one.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to convince
Hey, I
her to
like
give me a
that.
little skateboarder.
A little alliteration there, Kelly Kingston.
Yeah, I think my daughter's parents really want her to have a sibling. So
Right.
there's a lot
Okay.
of pressure. There's a lot of pressure from his mother.
Look, all I'm saying is it's a good retirement plan. If we make one, when we train it from the smallest being that it is to be the
Right.
next top
Train
skateboarder,
it?
we'll
You can't
never.
say train it.
Are you gonna like Earl Woods the kid?
Yes.
Like, but skateboarding style.
Yes, prodigy style. Like I'm talking, as soon as the baby is like done crying when it comes out, grip
Dude,
tape, grip tape.
Right.
You're gonna grip tape the baby.
No, like
No, grip tape the bottle.
Yeah.
Grip tape the bottle.
it's
There
got to
you go.
get
Kelly.
used to it.
Little Kelly. Oh,
There you
man.
go. I like that. I like that.
Kelly Kingston.
That's cool. Hey, well, real quick, I want to hit our sponsors that help support us here every week. That is summersky.us, and that is 888-857-8857. Once again, that is summersky.us. They're a rehab facility out in Stephenville, Texas, and it's where I went, and I got a year and some change.
Yeah.
And, really enjoying the fact that I have my life back, because I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we
and
enjoy you this way. I didn't really know you the other way, but I
Right.
like you this way.
Right. Well, I like me this way too, and I think a lot of people. I think I was a likable guy actually in my addiction.
Yeah.
But I think
That must be nice.
I think I think I was, but but it was just the whole trying to function and navigating that just wasn't working out.
It makes life harder than it already is.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I
like
like that for sure.
I'm glad that you were likable. I was absolutely unlikable.
You were straight up biatch.
I still probably have the worst reputation in the New Orleans music scene.
Dude, everybody's like, "Oh, Shelly's here," and they go the other way.
Well, I don't
there's
blame them. I mean, they
stories that
probably
I've heard.
Yeah, they
Right.
probably
Like-
checking their pockets when I'm standing behind them in a crowd, and
No.
I was terrible. I mean,
Oh no,
God.
the Shelly the grifter is here.
Yeah.
Hey, and then also, so Summer Sky, that's a great place to go for rehab if you want to get some help. They do 30, 60, 90. And then if you're looking for some aftercare, Cardinal House Sober Living is a great place to look into. Their website is cardinalhouserecovery.com, and that number is 918-998-4223. Once again, that is cardinalhouserecovery.com, 918-998-4223. And just hit them up, and if you can't navigate it on your own, and you're a guy, they can help you. And they're LBQT
LBTQ, SPN,
right,
all of the things.
right. Yes, they are that.
We love
They
everyone.
are that friendly.
All
We
of
love
the things,
everyone.
All of the things, all of the people, all of the time.
Well, so I guess I also want to, if y'all have a chance, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I will be putting some like best of episodes on the YouTube channel only, and
It might be a slideshow of just me, y'all. So just
It,
get ready.
it is. It's just going to be
Just him and his hair.
just the Dylan special.
The hair.
Right? But
get some
that is,
different
if you
angles.
just go to the URL thispinkcloud.com, that will take you to the actual Facebook page. And then there's a little button if you're on a desktop, not on your phone.
What is that?
Yeah, right. It's this right here, a laptop.
Oh.
And if you go to that, there's actually a little button where you can buy shirts, which you are so proudly sporting today, which I love.
Yeah, I love it.
love
It's
that.
soft, guys.
And then also, I want to encourage people. I've had a couple of people send in video questions. So I'm going to start doing like
that's
the
cool.
video question. And if y'all want to do that, just send it to me as a message, or email it or whatever, and we'll answer your question on the air. We'll put you on the screen and then answer your
sick.
question
Ask
on the
you
air.
a-
And I've got a couple. I'm going to start it next week. And then also next week we have my friend Gail Griffin, and she actually went to Summer Sky with me, but she had undiagnosed bipolar, and couldn't get sober until she got the that taken care of. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to have her on
That's awesome.
to talk about that. But I mean, do you guys? I mean, I know you're very active, and you're very active. So what do y'all want to? You gave Skate Straight a plug, the Labor Day event. Do you have anything?
I mean, just Nexus is amazing. I'm working closely with them, and
Right.
they are the most helpful organization that I've ever seen as far as helping women in recovery. They do all sorts of things to help these
Have
women.
you ever thought about doing the going the recovery coach route, the RSPS?
I have thought about it.
Right.
I've definitely put some thought into it. Honestly, make really good money at my job. So it's
I
really,
gotcha.
it's hard. You know, I'm a bartender in recovery,
Right,
which is
sure.
rare. And people oftentimes are like, how do you do that? If we were handing out, you know, at the bar, if we were handing out shots of heroin, I probably couldn't work there.
Right.
But alcohol's not really my thing. Luckily, it doesn't bother me, but I make decent money. I have a great support system at my job. You know, they
know
they know I'm in
aware.
recovery. You know, there's a lot of people that are in recovery that work there. There's a lot of people that live in Oxford that work there.
Okay.
So it's, you know, it's really cool. But yeah, I just plug Nexus.
It's like, but no, I like that you're actually, even at work, you're surrounded by people because they can look at you and go,
Absolutely.
do the eye thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
know you.
definitely, for sure.
Watching you, I know you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're my family up there.
There's I mean, there's people that like I lived with in Oxford that like work with her and like stuff like that. So like the
So you've got spies?
yeah, the
Yeah, he does. He does have spies.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so Dylan, you're doing Wednesday nights at.
Yeah, so Wednesday nights at Alliance Skate Park, we have Skate Straight meeting. We just started.
Tell them what Skate Straight meeting is, like
So okay.
Smart Recovery.
So yeah, it's a smart recovery meeting at the core of it, right? But Skate Straight, and it isn't just for skateboarders. It's for anyone and everyone that wants a support system or a group of people, that community that we talk about, right? And we explore all different pathways of recovery. There's not one any which way that is correct and all knowing and everything like that.
Right.
Recovery looks different for everyone, and we
Yes.
support that in any way that it comes.
Right, yeah, because what Kurt, I talked to Kurt, and he actually said that there's going to be a Skate Straight AA.
Yes, we're
and then
starting
there's
that.
the Smart Recovery, and then there's the Skate Straight Brigade, which I have the
Dharma.
sweet sticker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yoga.
the Dharma Recovery. So, and then yoga,
And then also we have the Girl Gang.
Oh, yeah.
And now on Fridays at Alliance, they're starting up the Gentlemen's Society is what they're calling it, I
Right.
believe.
Fancy.
Yeah, and so we're going to have mustache,
and bow ties and ascots,
beard
right?
oil and mustache and
I thought that was
cream and-
earwax that you use on your.
Oh, yeah, well.
I got some.
But yeah, so we're gonna have all that stuff. So 6 days a week we have a meeting that's involved in Skate Straight. We're starting the resource center. The Labor Day's coming up. We're doing that. I mean, it's
All
just
sorts of pathways to
Yeah.
recovery.
and we're cool with any and everyone.
Right. And,
LGBTQ.
yeah,
Yeah,
T-
all
T-
that.
yeah, yeah.
All of the things, all of the people,
Right.
all
yeah.
of the time.
Well, and also, and I'm going to quote Kurt again. He said it's kind of like the aisle of misfit toys.
Yes.
For
Yes.
recovery.
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
We are the misfit toys.
Well, we are for sure.
We are
Yes.
For
Skate
sure.
Straight.
I relate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I relate.
Yeah.
For sure. And then, did you have anybody you want to? I mean, besides Nexus, to personal shouts out.
Personal shout out.
Your daughter.
Of course, her. Yes, and her lovely parents.
Right.
They're the most amazing people in my life. They make everything worth it. You know, aside from Dylan, of course.
Right.
And Daphne, my dog. But yeah, they. I don't know that little girl will ever know how much she saved my life. So.
Wow, that's great. I love that. That's inspirational.
Thanks.
And thank you for sharing that. I mean, that takes a
Absolutely.
lot. You know. I mean,
it
I'm
is. It is a touchy subject. A lot of people don't understand. You know, you can't ever understand it unless you've gone through it. You know, and there's several different aspects to it, and I'm just so grateful that it's worked out the way it has, and I have such an amazing relationship with her parents.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. And then Dylon, dude, I appreciate you coming in.
Always.
You know, making time from the sticker factory. Do you want to give anybody a personal shout out?
Look how comfortable he
I don't
looks.
really
He's so ridiculous.
I don't
I
know.
know. He's like,
No. Hi
Me.
hi everyone.
Shout out me.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out the lovely.
yeah.
Usually I'm just shouting you out, and now you're
Yeah,
here. It's weird.
Weird. What
I
do
don't
we do?
necessarily
Now I
have to
don't
do
have
it.
anybody
What-
to shout out.
What do now?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. Am I on screen? Oh,
Well,
God.
cool. Well, yeah, I want to thank you guys for coming out and putting your relationship on flame, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, letting people know, because, the cool thing is people come up to me and they'll go, I watched, actually one guy came up to me outside of here and said, I watched the episode on Nolan's Relapse, and he goes, I related because I was relapsing at the time, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're here to inspire hope and let you know that there are people out there struggling, and there are people that are dealing with that struggle.
And that's why
There's
we need
light.
you to like, share, and subscribe, because someone out there needs to hear it and they don't even know
And
it.
there's
sure.
light at the end of the tunnel, I promise. If I can do it, anybody can.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, Brett Maestro, it's that time to play us out, and shout out to Brett, our engineer.
Yeah.
Go, Brett.
Brett.
Even though you didn't
He
bring
love you.
donuts.
He rocks. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
where's my
dude.
kolaches?
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Pigs
What's
in
the
a blanket,
problem?
really.
Right? Hey, but remember, kids, there is no magic pill for sobriety, because if there was, we would all take too many. See you next week.